Cooler than it was today, but it'll still be rather warm. 70s at Orange County, close to 50. You can have it a good every day. Currently, it's still 74 degrees in Chicago, 71 in Spokane, New York and Glow, 66, and Santa Monica, right, cool, 64 degrees at 9:07. 200 people who want stricter gun control laws took to the streets of downtown LA today to march it all.
The crowd gathered in front of City Hall to listen to speakers affected by gun violence. This doctor at Children's Hospital LA says he's treated mass shooting victims.
Before medical school, I would have told you all firearm injuries look the same. But let me tell you, they do not.
He says assault weapon injuries are like no other gunshot.
There was no need to mark these wounds as anyone could see directly the patient's chest, abdomen, and extremities.
Jocelyn Garcia was a student at UC Santa Barbara during the 2014 Rampage killing.
The reason why this happened is because there's special interests who benefit from this, who benefit from our lives being destroyed, who benefit from the fact that safety is now a privilege instead of a basic human right.
The group then marched through the streets with a police escort. Reporting from City Hall, Emily Valdez, KNX News 97.1 FM.
One of the 5 Marines who was killed in a plane crash a few days ago has now been identified as the second doctor, second baseman, Sachs. 33-year-old Captain John Sachs, the Florida Marine, who died when their Osprey aircraft went down in Sirius County on Wednesday during a routine training mission. Caused that crash is still tested. Sachs, who played with the Dodgers from 1981 to 88 since his center, wanted to be a pilot since he was very young. They often talked about the various planes that was flying overhead on their buildings. Weather channels, Southern California, traffic. Antelope, on the Berry Valley, traffic east 1 until 10 p.m. Temperature range 105 to 108. Heat advisory until 18 degrees to Rita, Orlando, Gabriel, Chino, and Riverside Sun Valley, as well as the Inland Empire. Festivities began in Hollywood, West Hollywood, several years. After the pandemic shutdown, the 2022 edition of LA Pride is back in 2 locations. A lot of people have had these festivities in both places. Well, since there are kind of a safe place.
I think in light of recent events with all the mass shootings and some of that, not to get depressing, however, I do feel safer here. It's not that it's this different, but, you know, there's security, there's people watching out for us so that we can celebrate in peace.
Tonight's music school event, LA Pride in the Park, happening at Los Angeles State Historic Park. And tomorrow, beginning at 10:30, the Pride Parade will make its way through Hollywood. You'll be disappointed, but probably not surprised to hear that gas prices are up again all across Southern California and setting new records by, I think, 15 straight days in both LA and Orange County. The latest spike, more than a penny in LA County, so its average soaring to almost $6.46 a gallon regular. Patrick DeHaan, petroleum analyst with Gas Buddy, says ever-increasing prices of gas haven't slowed down the demand.
For all the complaints that there are out there about the gas prices hitting records, few Americans seem to be cutting back much.
Today's jump in the OC actually smaller than other recent increases, leaving the average there just under $6.41 a gallon. Prices are around 1 cent or more higher in the Inland Empire, San Diego, and Ventura County. It's 9/11 at KNX News 97.1 FM. We're going to check that new crash in the Anaheim Hills on the 91 East. Just pop it up. We'll check it out for you in 4 minutes.
Meat food. See if they're amazing. Vitamin boosts that make you feel like the amazing vitamin boost.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right, and when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-220-5898. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation. Fixing people's search results, and we can help you too, using cutting-edge functions. Reputation Defender pushes unprompted information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff. to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-620-5898 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-620-5898.
You've been lied to. Lied to by Corolla Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda.
And I think that's...
Hi, I'm Inc. magazine best-selling author Brett Kitchen, and I want to give you a free copy of my brand new book, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, because we all know another market crash could be right around the corner.
Yeah,
After losing 35% in my IRA in the crash years ago, I said enough, and since then I discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Wealth Beyond Wall Street now to get a free copy and talk with a specialist to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits, all while building a tax-advantaged retirement. Call 1-800-324-4141 to discover this asset that people like Walt Disney and JCPenney use to grow wealthy. Plus, get one of just 97 free books left. We even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call 1-800-324-4141. 1-800-324-4141. That's 1-800-324-4141.
LAX Airport now has nearly 800 EV chargers within our parking structure, with over 1,000 plans before the end of the year. To celebrate this rollout, we're giving passengers the chance to win a brand new Tesla Model 3 Performance. Free book parking from now until June 14th, and opt in to receive offers from LAX to be automatically entered into the draw, or visit parking.flylax.com/sweepstakes to enter for free. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes ends June 14th at 11:59 p.m. For additional info and official rules, visit parking.flylax.com/sweepstakes.
People doesn't have attention victims of clergy abuse. If you or a loved one has suffered abuse by a clergy member or a priest, then you must listen to this message. Our attorneys have resolved clergy abuse cases in several states and will provide a private and confidential consultation to finally address this abuse and help you get the compensation you deserve. Since the 1980s, more than $3.8 billion has been paid in lawsuits and settlements against allegations of sexual abuse by clergy members and priests. Our attorneys are experienced in these matters and will fight to get you compensation due to psychological, emotional, and physical abuse by a clergy member or priest. If you are suffering and need help, call our confidential victims helpline now at 800-864-5706. You need a legal team that has decades of experience in helping individuals like you. You pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call the confidential victims helpline now to speak privately. Call 800-864-5706. That's 800-864-5706. Again, 800-864-5706.
KNX News is on 97.1 FM.
KNX traffic is on 97.1 FM.
Southern California's only 24 hours local news and traffic station.
KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Everything you need.
Real stories coming up on KNX News 97.1 FM.
Survivors of alleged sexual abuse at a former emergency children's shelter in LA County speak out in the lawsuit filed on their behalf. I'm Margaret Carrero.
Wedding Move calls a personal financial bust. That story coming up in 5 minutes when Bloomberg checks your money. But the people march downtown demanding stricter gun control laws. I'm Marie Valdez.
Those stories coming up in the next 15 minutes. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on 5. This is the 6.
Okay, we have a pair of problems now on the 91 East in Anaheim Hills. We have one crash that happened right before the 241. They made it over to the right shoulder. And then once you get beyond the 241, another problem before Green River Road. So, again, maybe because the 91 East is finally moving again. It was really slow all day today and into the early evening. Maybe people are going too fast. I don't know what the problem is, but we've got two things going on right now, and the backup is starting to build. Still slow as you make your way towards downtown. The 5 South is heavy coming out of Glendale. The 101 South is jammed coming out of Hollywood. We've got that problem in Sun Valley on the 170 North at Sheldon. This is a 2-car crash in the middle lane, and they are still trying to pull up that car in La Crescenta on the 210 West at La Crescenta. Also, I'm seeing a lot of slowing right now in the Linwood area. This is on the 105 West. Once you get beyond the 710, not sure if they're doing some Caltrans work, but it really doesn't open up until you get to Alameda. And again, that's the 105 West is very slow. Next work, we have a 9:25 with more reports more often KNX News, 97.1 FM.
It's been another day of extreme heat across Southern California. These for inland spots as we head into tomorrow. Slight relief from the extreme heat. We're looking at highs in the low 70s along the coast, mid to upper 70s for LA, Inland, Orange County, and the mountains. 90s for the valleys and the Inland Empire, and mid-90s for the high desert. Expect temperatures to continue to drop on Monday along with a deeper marine layer or another warm-up by midweek with Southern California's most accurate and dependable forecast. I'm CBS 2's Olga Ospina for KNX News 97.1 FM.
Santa Ana now 67 degrees, 67 in Long Beach. And currently in Glendora it is 75 and 74 in Silmar at 9:17. Los Angeles County facing a lawsuit over the alleged sexual abuse of children who were housed in McLaren Hall, an emergency children's shelter, which has since been closed.
At the facility between the ages of 12 and 15 in the 1990s, Anisha Duffy says,
I was also sexually assaulted at McLaren Hall numerous times throughout the 3 years I was there.
She is one of more than 30 plaintiffs in the lawsuit. Attorney Ben Crump.
It is very tragic that these children's breaths were restrained by the very people who one duty was to protect these children.
More lawsuits related to McLaren Hall are expected. In a statement, the LA County Department of Children and Family Services noted that the allegations leveled in any civil claim should and will be thoroughly examined, adding that DCFS serves more than 29,000 vulnerable children and families, and each of its nearly 9,000 employees is held to the highest standards. Margaret Carrero, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
So surprising news out of Disney this week when it was announced the well-regarded and well-liked Peter Rice, Disney's chief content officer, was fired. Rice has been discussed as a possible future CEO of Disney. Instead, CEO Bob Chapek reported let Rice go personally. As Palmieri, entertainment editor at Bloomberg, tells KNX, Rice had been stripped of some of his authority, plus Disney streaming services are hurting right now.
Peter Rice is one of those executives who would have lost that ability to, as they say, greenlight a project. And so he's a streaming business. Disney has continued to lose money, billions of dollars, and we're now seeing a pretty disenchantment from Wall Street.
That's hard to see.
Networks in worse position, but Disney stock is down more than 30% this year, twice that in the S&P 500.
Palmieri says some of the motivations for letting Rice go could be that he's supposed to address Brexit, tap the drain on the ground. However, isn't the only negative possible. The latest draft of the franchise film is not expected to blaze a trail to box office.
This one is Jurassic World Dominion, and according to film critic Scott Matt, there's everything you need to know about the latest in the series.
There's no magic to it. There's no awe-inspiring wonder to it. The story is convoluted and all over the place. It didn't interest me at all. Something about giant locusts, which is not what I came here for. I want to see raptors running through Times Square. I want to see a T-Rex tearing apart the Hollywood sign. Dominion commits the cardinal rule of a Jurassic movie. It's boring.
Maybe boring, but it is expected to generate way beyond $100 million this weekend. Dick Hilton, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
There'll be free snacks and lunches this summer for children at 46 LA County Park. Summer Food Service program kicks off on Monday, but food is available Monday through Friday. Lunch served between noon and 1. Snacks handed out between 3 and 4. All done by the Department of Parks and Recreation. 9:20. Time to check the money and then
After 2 years of COVID-19 and many postponed ceremonies, a wedding groom is expected this year. Participation is at its highest level in 40 years. Bloomberg reporter Claire Valentine says wedding guests are feeling the pinch.
Some people I talked to, it's being very hard to get this because there were such a lack of these sort of celebratory experiences. Everyone wants to go to the beach, but it's getting pretty expensive.
And Valentine adds that many are taking a financial hit as a result.
So I think now that people here to go wedding, $2,000. Sounds pretty great, but only factor in the cost for it. I don't think it's
Weddings are expected to take place in the U.S. this year, the most since 1984. Guests say the break is negatively impacting their ability to attend. We check your money at 20 and 50 after every hour. I'm Bloomberg Dan Tate, KNX News
97.1 FM.
And coming up in just a couple of minutes, California lawmakers talking about water rights for farmers. More on that coming up right now, 5:21.
Southern California, one of the best places anywhere.
But it's not perfect. Sometimes the traffic is more stop than go. Got a backup here on that northbound side of the 605.
That's why we bring you updates and alternates every 10 minutes on the 5.
You can take Portland Mills Tech. You can also take Ramona.
KNX News 97.1 FM.
Everything you need, every time you listen. It was a beautiful June morning in Southern California.
Birds were chirping, the sun was shining.
And somewhere on a quiet residential street, a sink was clogging.
The couple experiencing the clog
Mr. and Mrs. JP
did something they had never done before. They called it Smell Good Plumber at Mike Diamond. I'm Mike Diamond. I guarantee my plumbers will show up on time and unclog your sink for $99.
A technician showed up promptly and unclogged the sink.
A few months later, a much more intensive problem turned up in the bathroom.
Mr. JP called Mike Diamond again. They worked up a plan and the repair was made.
Mr. and Mrs. JP felt good enough about the experience to sit down and write us an email.
They commended the Smogan plumbers on their service and closed by saying they would use Mike Diamond on future services and recommend them to anyone in need of plumbing repairs.
We love Mr. and Mrs. JP, and we'd love for you to read their testimonial and more before calling your next plumber. The address is MikeDiamond.com, or just call us at 1-800-446-MIKE. Contractor's license number 399170.
When searching for a plumbing or AC expert, search Ghetto.com.
9:23, California lawmakers considering buying out the water rights of farmers to concern.
A state Senate proposal calls for spending $1.5 billion to buy senior water rights. Those rights allow farmers to draw water from California rivers and streams for their crops. Golden State Salmon Association's John McManus tells KNX the measure would correct a chronic imbalance of water allocation in the state.
Whereby 80% of the water is going to ag, and many of our native species are in steep decline as a result of not enough water being run from the river.
But McManus says the devil's in the details of this plan.
It's important that whatever is finalized here guarantees that this water actually make it all the way to the Delta out to San Francisco Bay in order to serve the ecological purposes that it basically aims at.
Under the plan, farmers would have to voluntarily give up their water rights. And McManus says he doesn't believe the proposal would harm agriculture in the state. Karen Adams, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
If dogs had cheese, well, then maybe
that could be trouble for your food if you take it outside in the heat of the day. Dr. Martin Becker is hailed as America's veterinarian. He says if you want to walk a dog,
Walk it in the early morning to early evening, and if you want to try to walk them off the grass. If you have a shaded area, shaded park, then don't walk them up on the sidewalk.
even when temps are in the 70s, the pavement can reach 125 degrees. Becker says that can cause claws to burn, but there's a simple way to tell if it's too hot.
An easy rule of thumb is to put your palm on the concrete or asphalt. If it's too hot for your palm, it's too hot for your dog's feet.
He says when highs are in the 90s and low 100s, it's probably not the time to take your pet outdoors. Larry Farrell, KNX News 97.1 FM.
And Bo Donegal won the Belmont Stakes today in New York. Ness Affiliate was second, giving trainer Todd Fletcher a 1-2 finish at the race. And Skippy Longstocking was the show horse. Rich Strike, the thoroughbred that won the Kentucky Derby at 80-1, was sixth. He did not run in the previous. Coming up at the bottom of the hour on KNX News 97.1 FM, we'll check the latest in what's going on with the gun march, the anti-gun march, I guess is more appropriate. But first, it's 9:25. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. Here is Jeff Biggs.
Okay, we are going to start on the 55 in Santa Ana on the 55 north at Dyer Road. We have a brand new two-car crash in the slow lane, and you've got backup now building all the way to the 405 on that northbound 55. Speaking of the 405, we had an earlier problem in Fountain Valley on the 405 north before Brookhurst. Looks like they have finally cleared that two-car collision off of the freeway and out of your way. Still working on that slowdown in Sun Valley on the 170 north at Sheldon. That was a two-car crash in the middle lane. It looks like they've been able to move everything over to the right shoulder, but there is still some residual slowing there. La Crescenta, they are waiting for the tow truck and the cable on the 210 west at La Crescenta. That's where a car went off the freeway and down the embankment. And we have a problem on the 15 north at Kenwood. Usually we have all the slowing going down southbound on the 15 coming down the Cajon Pass, but right now on the 15 north, right beyond the merger with the 215, this is a brand new multi-car crash. The airport coming up at 9:35 with more reports more often. KNX News 97.1 FM.
All right, well, tonight in